Hey, what's up, guys? So I'm gonna just wait a couple of seconds here to log into Instagram, and then we can get started. I'm gonna talk to you guys about baseball. And yesterday was a losing day, and there was a lot of regression coming. I already knew it. I had been talking about it, and I always write notes on why I think I lost and things like that. I always take notes on my bet tracker and all that stuff. So what I've been focused on a lot lately is building out this software, and I think I got a little too involved, meaning that I was not really paying attention to a lot of the stuff, and I've been skipping over some stuff. So, like for example, I think I had the Cubs yesterday, and they were not supposed to bat in the ninth, or they were supposed to bat in the ninth, and I actually just still took them. So I'm taking bigger risks, and that's a no go. I'm going to stop doing that. If I see something that doesn't make sense, I'm not going to do it. And again, like I said, I've been focused a lot on this thing called the sharp edge right here recently. Before we were doing something very similar to this, which is actually what I'm going to go through right now. And then there's three teams right here that I really like, but I have not looked at all the details, so I'm gonna look through them with you here. But like what I was trying to say is that I've been building out the software, and it's taking my focus away from actually placing legit bets. So I'm gonna focus back, and that's why I wanted to come on here and kind of go through this very thoroughly and just take my time with it. And if something doesn't make sense, I'm not gonna force anything. And I feel like that's been the biggest key, is that I feel like I've been forcing things. So I'm going to stay away from forcing things. I'm going to give you a few batter props, actually one batter prop, and then I'll look at the games. All right, so let's get started. One last very important thing. So whenever we've been winning a lot of days, last month we won like 25 games out of 30, or 25 days out of 30 days. And then this month has been pretty much close. It's been, what is this, 22 days? So we've had about 2 losing days or 3 losing days, and then the rest have been winning days. So we've had about 18 or 19 winning days and about 3 losing days. So there is regression coming. So like I said, yesterday was a losing day. 2 days ago was a slight losing day. The day before that was a break-even day. So it has been kind of a little bit on a decline, but I wanted to point this out. There's a video I created here called bankroll management. You have to make sure you understand this. If you're not doing a bankroll management, then one day could wipe you out. So the reason I don't get wiped out is because I have a management of my bankroll. So that video is on my channel. So go check that out. All right, enough talking here. What's up? Let's see. Let me answer a couple of questions here. Was the over-under Guardians game where it's going to be sharp money? I have no idea. I'm not looking at the over-unders right now. I'm focused on the money lines. I can go through that, but I don't have time to do it today. But right now I'm only looking at the money lines or the spreads. So let's get started here. Let me get started. So here we go. The Guardians started at a 132, and they're at a 140 right now. So the line did shift 8 cents in their direction. So the line is going towards the Guardians. Okay, this just tells you the same information here. It does tell you that they're supposed to score 8.5 runs. I will give you some information for your question. Guardians are projected to win. Very tight game. The trends do show an over game for the Guardians and the head-to-head, but then the under is a contradiction for the Orioles. So there's contradictions already that I can tell you. Castillo, he has a lot less experience than Young. This guy has 5 games. This guy has 1 game. It looks very bad for this guy. Look at 7.52 ERA compared to this guy 4.1. But this guy has way less. Well, this might be wrong, actually, now that I look at it, because there's no way he has 54 strikeouts in 1 game. So this has to be wrong. So I have to go to do a better analysis on this guy, because this screenshot is wrong. But anyways, this guy's terrible. 7.52 ERA. As you can see right there, batting average. The batting average for the opposing teams are so basically whenever he's facing the other batters are getting a lot of hits off of him, almost a 35% hit rate against him. Castillo, again, let's see what he's looking like. He is better, but there's not enough data to confirm that. He's only played one game. But the bullpen is when the backup people come in. So besides the starting pitchers, now we're talking about the backups. So the backups for Cleveland Guardians are much better. You can see that's a 3.77 ERA compared to a 4.72. So the lower the ERA, the better on the bullpen, or for pitchers in general. These are just the head-to-head trends. Baltimore Orioles last 10, 6-4. Just like I said above, 5-5 in the last 10 when they've met each other, so they're pretty even. 16th in baseball. Let's see what else. Now we look at the Guardians, 49, 7-3, one previous. So this is decent right here. Recent form, they've won 10-5 in the last 15 games. Let's keep going here. So Baltimore is ranked 15th in OPS, meaning that in the last 7 days, rank 15th is right in the middle of baseball. So they're not getting on base a lot. They're like right in the middle. And they compare that to Cleveland Guardians, they're 5th in OPS, meaning that they're getting on base. Okay, so the starting pitcher is a little bit questionable, but he's not as bad as this guy, Young. So starting pitching is better already. Bullpen is better. Hitting is better. Okay, the line is also shifting towards the Guardians. Orioles make a lot of mistakes. Okay, that's good to know. So here we go. Let's keep going here. Win probability 71% says the Guardians are going to win. To bat in the 9th. So this is what I was talking about. You see right here where it says Guardians to bat in the 9th. What this means is that it's saying that the Guardians will need to bat because they will be losing the game. So normally I would ignore this, but I'm not going to ignore it today because, like I said, we lost 2 games yesterday. And I think the other one I recommended, the Cardinals, let me see what they did. Cardinals, I said, I'm going to stay away, and I think they won. Let me make sure on that. Yeah, they won 6-2. So I did say I really like the Cardinals, but I was staying away, and they ended up winning. And then the other 2 teams I went with, they lost, which was, I believe, the Cubs. And I have it written down over here, but let me make sure on this. It was the Cubs that lost. The Reds lost badly. Or not badly. They were losing badly, 10-8. And then Ellie De La Cruz didn't get a hit. Nico Horner didn't get a hit. And then Alec Burleson didn't get a hit. So, like I said, it was a losing day because they didn't get a hits and they lost the games. So, anyways, because of this reason right here, there's 2 reasons that I'm staying away from this game. The Guardians, they're favored to bat in the 9th, which means the books think they'll be losing the game. And on top of that, I don't trust this pitcher. This pitcher, even though the Orioles have a very bad pitcher over here, Cantillo doesn't convince me, and the bullpen is not crazy stronger than the other team. Plus, these guys are not bums. Look at 6-4 in the last 10. Their record is decent. Also, they're 5th in All-Star or American League. So, anyways, for all those reasons, I'm staying away. Plus, the Guardians have not come up for me at all this season, which means that they have not been decent so far. So let me keep going. Orioles yesterday was winning 3-0 first, and the style lost. Okay, cool. I didn't watch that game. All right, so let's look at the Tigers and the Pirates. Let me know if you have any questions, guys. Tigers, they started at a 126, and now they're at a 130. This is probably the strongest game on the board from what I was looking at earlier, but let me confirm it now. I'm gonna go kind of exhaustive into this because this might be the best play of the day for me. So we got a 4-point move, which is very light. I'd like to see it more than that, but right now that it is what it is. They're only moved 4 cents right there, 126 to 130. 78% of the bets, 85% of the money is coming in towards the Tigers. Then we got Mize right here, which is very good, and then Keller is actually very good as well. But Mize has they're very similar. This guy actually has a lot more strikeouts, so both of them are very, very, very good. This guy might be even better than this guy, but the reason, the Pirates have been sucking, So overall, even though he's a great pitcher, they've lost a lot of games. And then the Tigers have actually, they were very, very good, and then they went downhill, and I think they're finally coming back up. So their record over here, like I said, is 9-3 for Mize and 3-10 for Keller. Let's look at the bullpen. So this is beside the start. So the starting pitcher so far is pretty even, and the starting pitching is very, very even, but then the line is actually shifting in the Tigers' favor. So you got to start paying attention to the little factors right there. Now we look at the bullpen. Bullpen is actually better for the Pirates by a very little. It's very minimal. Now let's look at the OPS. This is not good. This doesn't convince me at all. So basically what this is saying is that the Tigers are 29th to get on base, but the Pirates are 30th. So they're the two worst teams in baseball to get on base. So there's no indication on anything there. Another thing that I would have ignored yesterday is this 2-8. I actually ignored something very similar like this for the Reds, and then I regret it because the last 10 games they have not covered the spread. So it's a major red flag. I'm not going to ignore it. It does say the Tigers should win this game, but I'm not touching it. Also, it does say that the Pirates are heavily favored. Heavily favored to bat in the ninth. What that means is that the books think that the Pirates will be losing the game. I'm not going to touch this. You can see this little, I know it's hard to see this, but check this out. Look under the Tigers logo right here. You'll see 4 little circles that are red. And that just proves right there that they're not covering spreads. So even if they're winning games, they're not covering the spreads. We don't care about none of that, but that just gives us an indication that they should not be winning this game. So your data is done now. I'm looking right at it, man. What do you mean by done? So I'm going to show you what this looks like. It's very close, but it's not quite there. If you guys want access to this, it's free for 30 days because I'm still working on it. And the reason I'm giving away for free is so you guys can help me. For example, somebody told me yesterday, they're like, hey, this pitching information that you have is flipped. So, for example, right here it says Frankie Montas for Angels and Kyle Hendricks for the Mets, but it's actually reversed. Frankie Montas plays for the Mets and Kyle Hendricks plays for the Angels. So that's something that I would maybe not have caught if I didn't have somebody telling me. So that's the reason I'm giving it away for 30 days. So while I'm working on it, you guys can help me get it the way it needs to be. It's not going to be free forever. Like I said, it's getting very close. You can see all the projections are here. All the betting numbers are correct now. To bat in the ninth market is correct. It's telling you the edge breakdown, the win probabilities, the batting analysis, pitching analysis. The starting pitchers, like I said, they're just flipped, but they are active. Bullpen is correct. Team records is correct. And then all the insights. So it's pretty much done. I'm still like messing around with the a little bit of the features and stuff like that, but pretty much is done. If you guys want access to this, send me a text message. You don't have to take a screenshot. I know it says take a screenshot, but you don't have to send a screenshot. Just say I'm interested for 30 days for free on the Sharp Edge. All right, cool. So let me go back to the last game I was looking at, and then I'm gonna give you guys a batter prop. I did have, let me see. I did have, what is this? 1, 2, 3. Actually, this was from yesterday. Never mind. I have about 9 batter props that I threw into the VIP. So if you guys want that for one day, you can check us out. The link is in the description for free picks and also for one day VIP. So if you guys want to check that out. All right. Now let's look at this. The Chicago White Sox versus the Rays. The line is shifting very, very slightly towards the Rays. They're heavily juiced at a 215 going to a 220. So it's very slightly juiced and still going heavier. It's saying here 10-point move, but it's not. It's a 5-point move. The line, you can see the money is heavy. 73% of the bets, 75% of the money is coming in on the Rays. Rasmussen right here is very, very good pitcher. You can see his ERA of 2.86. The lower the ERA, the better. And this guy is elite at a 2.86 with 77 strikeouts. Right here it says the pitcher is not listed, but he's actually already listed, which is Davis Martin. Davis Martin has a 3.79 ERA. You can see how his record is pretty bad because the White Sox are terrible. ERA is decent, but not crazy compared to Desmusen, or Rasmussen, I should say. The bullpen overall, it's very similar. And then you got the White Sox and the Rays, which is a little bit weird, is that they're both ranked 7, which they're tied for OPS in baseball. So I guess what I'm trying to tell you is that this goes based on OPS, like the actual value of OPS, and they're tied for 7th place. So they're both very decent in bats right now. But you can also see this little red graph right here. What this means is telling you that the Rays are extremely hot right now. The 3 guys, Yandy Diaz, we've been hitting. If you've been following me for any amount of time, you know I've been going with Yandy Diaz because this dude gets a lot of hits. So I'm actually going with him today again from the Rays, Yandy Diaz. So I'm going to give away 2 batter props. One of them is Yandy Diaz, and the other one's going to be on the YouTube short. So if you guys want to check that out, that'll be posted on my YouTube. So go to the YouTube channel. Let me show you that channel, and then go subscribe over there. It's B Sports Picks or at bsportspicks.com. All right. Let me keep going with this White Sox and Rays. White Sox are on a 4-game winning streak. That's not good. ATS 7-3 in the last 10 against each other. They're 7-3. That's not good at all. Now you look at the Rays are 4-6. The Rays are supposed to win this 5.3 compared to 3.8. Projected scores are 67%. It does say the Rays are not going to bat minus 160, which is pretty high, actually. That's telling you that the books really think that the Rays will be winning this game. They do head-to-head trends do favor the White Sox. But again, that can go all the way to last season because they probably didn't play to each other 10 games this season so far. I'm not going to risk this. I'm not going to risk any of these games, actually. So there's nothing that I like today. What I might do is take the Rays. I'm actually going to set myself an alarm. So the way I'll do this is very simple. I'm going to go on my phone. I'm going to go to something called Sports Alerts. And I created a whole video on how to do this, but it's called Sports Alerts. And then I'm going to go to Rays. Let's take a look at the Rays. Okay. And then I'm going to go to game started, end of inning. I'm sorry, game started, end of inning, and score changed. So basically, I'm on my phone and I'm putting it on Sports Alerts. There's an app. There's a video that I created on how to do this. But basically, now what I just did is I'm going to send myself an alarm when the game is about to start. The end of each inning, I'm going to get an alert, and then whenever the score changes. So the reason I'm doing this is I'm gonna hit the Rays at a better value because they're too high at a minus 215 with all these discrepancies. So what I do like that this guy's playing, but there's too many discrepancies. They're tied, the ATS form, everything I just mentioned. So I guess what I'm trying to tell you is what I'm going to do is I'm going to catch them live, but I don't have to be watching the game to see the alert. So I'll get the alert on my phone. It'll tell me the White Sox are up, whatever, and then from there, then I'll be able to decide if I'm going to go with it or not. But I'll probably get a lot better value if the Rays start losing. Let me see. Phillies, Astros, Rangers. I'm not going to go to any one of those teams, but I can give you the breakdown of what I had from my scrapers. So give me a second. Let me look it up. All right. So I'm looking up. Somebody's asking me about some games. So for the Phillies, let me give you the breakdown. Okay. So give me a second. All right. Give me a second, because I ran some new stuff today, and it's a little bit messing with it. So give me a second. Team analysis. This is from, what was this from? All right, here we go. Sorry about the delay there. So here it is. So I was looking at the Guardians, like I said. The Astros, they're playing with Valdez, which is a 2.75 ERA, and he's going against Rodriguez, which is a 2 point or a 5 point. That's a big difference. Let me go show you this. So there, let me see the Phillies. All right. So you can see right here, Fitz, he's a 4.28 ERA, and you compare that to Sanchez, which is 2.50. Wait a minute, that's not even that's not the same game. Give me a second. Let me look at the Astros and the Diamondbacks. Astros. All right, so Valdez, you can see 10 wins, 4 losses, 2.5 ERA compared to the Diamondbacks. Actually, compared to the Astros, he's going against Rodriguez, 5.94, 3 wins, 4 losses. What else? It did move from 126 to 157. So it is favoring the Diamondbacks. I'm sorry, the Astros. The Rays, I just went through them. There's moderate conference. The Brewers do look like they're going to be winning 11-game winning streak, 7-3 in the last 10. Even money on that, and then I'm skipping all the other games. So what's the other one? Rangers didn't even come up. Let's see at all. No, I don't have any information on the Rangers. So let's take a look here. Let me pull this into my other sheet, and you can see what the hell I'm looking at. Give me a second. This is what I get the night before. Actually, at 5 a.m, I get a automated email, and this is what I get. So check this out. So the strongest plays I was looking at, like I said, was the Guardians, but there's a disparity here: 9-2 versus Baltimore. Significant pitching edge, which now it's giving me a better ERA right here. Guardians are 21-12 as favorites, which is good. The line did shift, but again, I already gave you all the reasons why I'm staying away from that game. The Astros, this is exactly what I was just talking about. Valdez is 2.75 ERA against Rodriguez, 5.94 ERA. So it's a big mismatch on the pitching for the Astros. And then Rasmussen, just like I had mentioned, White Sox road struggles, which is probably something I should have looked at. But I think the value is too low for that price of a -2, 225 or 215, whatever it is. All right, moderate confidence plays. The Tigers, I just went through this. Like I told you, Mize is 9-3 versus Keller, and Tigers superior offense, which is not correct. I mean, they have won more games, but they're recently been sucking at bat. So then we have the Brewers, 11-game winning streak, 7-3 head-to-head. In the last 10, they've swept Seattle recently. The Sharp is telling that there's hot value on the Brewers. So actually, the Brewers are underdogs. So that was another one I was taking a look at, but there was too many discrepancies. I stayed away from that. Even money is telling you there's conflicting data for Padres and Marlins. Red Sox and Phillies, there was no pitcher data when I looked at it, but there was nothing else that made me want to look at that game. Both pitchers are concerning stats for the Reds and the Nationals. Both starters have bad ERAs, which means that the price is too high at a 174. The Giants and the Braves are on a 5-game losing streak. I was actually taking a glance at the Giants, but right there it tells you they have not been good. Give me a second. All right, so data's incomplete. I reran this again, and it did say the Blue Jays were supposed to win this game, but I didn't like a lot of other stuff. The Cubs did come up for me, but there was nothing to justify the strong juice, and that's about it, man. So, like I said, that's what I had. All right, guys. So I'm gonna get out of here, man. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so. Come to the YouTube and make sure you subscribe there. Also, check out that channel that says, or I'm sorry, the video that says bankroll management. It's on my channel. And then if you guys want access to this sharp edge, where all that stuff that I just went through, it's actually going to be inside one sheet right here. So everything can be right in front of you for each game. So again, line movement, the projections, the ninth inning markets, the edge breakdown, the win probabilities, the batting analysis, pitching analysis, starting pitchers, bullpen, team records, and then the insights. So if you guys want access to this for free, send me a text message, and then you don't need to send me a screenshot. So just send me a text message. All right, guys, have a great day. Thank you so much for being here, man. I do like Yandy Diaz, and I'm going to give you one more batter. And then if you subscribe or you go to the YouTube channel, I'm going to do a YouTube short, and that's going to have two batters in there as well. But this is the other guy I wanted to go with, Mickey Manayak. And you can see he's got I'm not going to go through all the details, but 90% hit rate. He comes up to bat between 4 and 5 times. He has hit this 9 straight games at home. And then I already did the research where this guy pitches, this guy tends to hit. So everything is looking good. This guy is horrible. The pitcher, actually, that's reversed. So all the pitchers for St. Louis, I looked at because this guy's so bad. Blalock. All right. So I hope that makes sense. I hope everybody has a good day. Thank you for being here.